Hi all. Today we have joined here for our next session of MEx Talks, which is creating content that converts strategies for success. Today we have our speaker Nielouphar Abdurahiman with us, who is the marketing coach and founder of Neelu and Co. and a company. Without further ado, I would like to invite Ajay sir for the welcome address.
Thank you so much, ma'am. First of all, we are extremely grateful and very thankful for accepting our invitation and gracing this occasion. So they offer a wide range of services in the field of digital marketing. So starting from things like the social media marketing, video marketing, and search engine marketing, then website design and development, and also many more, similar to the paid ad. So they're extremely passionate about empowering a small and medium-sized business by leveraging the power of digital marketing here. She began her entrepreneurial journey at the age of 19 itself and built a thriving art and stationery business called Pretty Paper Studio in Dubai, UAE. So now this is the right time, and without wasting any extra time here, I would like to welcome our guest speaker once again, Ms. Nielouphar Abdurahiman. Thank you so much, ma'am. And we'd like to actually invite you to this platform and have our session on creating content that converts the strategies for success. Very happy to welcome you, ma'am.
Hi, hello. Thank you, Mr. Rajesh, and thank you, Andresa, and thank you, Dr. Shafi, for having me over. So the whole crowd is, all of you are Malayalis, is it? Or do we have a mix of Malayalis and non-Malayalis?
Have a mix, ma'am.
Most of them are non-Malayalis.
All right, okay. No, shoot. So I will walk straight into today's agenda. I'm sharing my screen. I hope you guys can see it.
Yes, please.
So I have closed the window where I can see all of your faces. Not that any of you have switched on your videos, but still, so I can't really see your reactions. But if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me at the end of the session so that there's no break in the flow. Yeah. So hello everyone, my name is Nielouphar or Neelu. My loved ones call me Neelu in short. I was in Dubai. I'm actually from Kannur, Kerala, but I moved to Dubai after finishing my 12th standard in Kannur, and then I did my bachelor's and master's when I was based out of Dubai. And my previous business, e-commerce business, was also based out of Dubai. And then me and my kids, we moved to Cochin. So right now I'm in Cochin. And Neelu and Co, the digital marketing agency, is based out of Cochin as well. So as Mr. Rajesh said in the introduction, I've been doing business since the age of 19. But my actual proper business that actually people came to. So yeah, Pretty Paper Studio was my previous business. It was an e-commerce store selling art and craft supplies, which was in business for 8 years. And I bootstrapped the business and I scaled it to a 6-figure in just 3 years using mainly digital marketing and digital platforms, which is what sort of organically led me into coaching. So I'm a marketing coach, and then people keep asking me to do marketing for their businesses, which is how Neelu and Co was born, where we do marketing for business owners. So if you prefer DIYing your marketing by learning from a coach or a mentor, then you can get in touch with me. But if you would rather have someone take care of your business's marketing, then you can get in touch with Neelu and Co, that sort of a thing. All right, so before I start, I would like to ask you guys, when you think about a business, what comes to your mind? Can you leave your answers in the chat window? What comes to your mind when you think about a business? What do you think a business is? Or anything that pops up in your head? when you hear the term business?
Ma'am, can you please repeat the question? I'm sorry.
My question was, when you think about business, the word business, when it pops in your mind, what is the first thing that comes to you?
Ma'am, maybe to effectively deliver the value added benefit and along the way to make profit.
Okay. I'm sorry, I can't see who's answering because the slideshow is on, but thank you for your answer. Anybody else would like to share their opinion or their point of view?
It's like Bharti said, ma'am, delivering value and profitability and strategies.
Okay. Anybody else care to answer? I will wait for one more and then I'll continue because I don't want to waste any more time. It's already 14 minutes. Delivering value and profitability is what Nihal has said in the chat window. Okay, all right. So pretty much everyone thinks about profitability or strategy and all of that. But business, if you look at it, it's actually solving a problem. Your business has to solve some kind of a problem that the market is facing. So to give you a very simple example, let's say you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is make chai or coffee. And if you don't have milk, if you like to add milk and there's no milk in your fridge, what are you going to do? You're going to go to the supermarket and get a pack of Milma or Nandini. So that particular brand is solving your problem of not having milk, and the supermarket is also helping you source milk. So every business is either solving a problem or meeting a desire. The reason why I say meeting a desire is because I tend to work with a lot of artists because I'm an artist myself. And many times when I'm coaching artists, they are like, but Neelu, my art doesn't really solve a problem. But their art is meeting some kind of desire. If you look at luxury products as well, like why would anyone go and buy a Rolex watch for, I don't know, lakhs of rupees or crores? In like, why would anyone invest 1 crore, 2 crore, or 3 crores into a car like Rolls Royce when you can also get a Tata Punch for 10 lakhs? Why would anyone buy a luxury bag like Louis Vuitton for 4,000, 5,000 dirhams when you can get a regular handbag for 100 dirhams in the supermarket? Because it meets a certain kind of desire. It makes that person feels a certain way. So either your business is solving a problem or it is meeting a desire. And marketing, in a nutshell, is effectively communicating how your business is going to solve this problem that your prospect is facing, or how your business is going to meet a desire. Then comes strategy and profit and all of that. All right. So since I'm a digital marketer, I like to do a quick. I would like to do a quick comparison of traditional marketing and digital marketing, and then I'll talk about other things. So traditional marketing, I don't really like the term tradition because it's not really old, but basically it's what we grew up seeing. So we would see ads on the billboard, we still see them. TV commercials were a big part of my childhood, although I don't get to see them as much because I don't watch much TV these days. The ads that we see in newspapers, in the local magazines, brochures, flyers that comes with the newspapers and all of that, they fall under traditional marketing. And then digital marketing is any kind of marketing that uses online media. So it can be a website, it is SEO, email marketing, WhatsApp, push notifications, the notification that Swiggy and Zomato sends right at noon when you're feeling hungry, asking you to order biryani. That's all digital marketing. If you have to do a quick comparison, traditional marketing is still good for building PR, and it should ideally be a part of your long-term marketing strategy. You shouldn't give up completely on traditional marketing saying that it doesn't bring the kind of results digital marketing does. People still see the value in, like, for example, if you as a business owner is featured on a business magazine like The Week, or even the local Vanita magazine if you are a woman business owner, or even the movie stars are featured on Vanita. It sort of lands in a certain way in the minds of the reader. So traditional marketing still has that value, but it is expensive in the sense that if you want to run an ad or if you want to run a plug about your business in the local news channel or any of the regional news channels, it's going to cost you thousands and thousands of rupees. Whereas in digital marketing, you can target and you can specifically, in digital marketing, there's better ROI in the sense that you don't have to spend thousands of rupees and you can also target better. In traditional, you don't really know who's going to read the newspaper or who's going to pick up the magazine. Whereas digital media, you can specifically write content or run ads that is targeted to a particular group of people. Someone's audio is on, so if you could mute it, it would be great. Goals of digital marketing is pretty similar to traditional marketing as well. You can build brand awareness. A lot of times, clients come to Neelu and Co. looking only for leads and sales, and we have to keep reminding them that you can also create brand awareness using your social media platforms. It's not just about leads and sales, it's also about creating an impression, building awareness, letting people know that a business like you is here based out of Cochin, Dubai, wherever. We can do brand reputation management, traffic, increase traffic and engagement. There's so many things that we can do other than just lead generation and conversions. Now let's get into today's actual topic, which is how to create content that converts. But again, before I get into that, I would like to quickly ask you, what do you think content is? What is content?
Something that relays the message that we want to convey in a more creative manner.
Okay. Anybody else want to share their answer, or can I move to the next slide? All right. So content is anything really. It's blah. You can call it blah blah. Content is anything. Even me sitting in front of you and talking to you about content is content. The slideshow that you're seeing in front of you, the presentation, is content. The TV commercial that you watch on TV in between IPL matches and all of that, is content. Content can be anything really. It can be educational, it can be engaging, entertaining, interesting, and it can be any format. Content doesn't mean that it has to be written itself or it has to be video itself. It can be in any format. It's text, image, video, audio. So it could be a podcast, it could be a YouTube video, it could be a webinar like this, the one that you're attending. Okay. But before I tell you how to create content that converts or leads to sales, I would like to talk to you about ideal client avatar or customer persona. So different people have different terms for this. And since most of you are MBA students, I'm pretty sure you already know what this is, but we have to brush up on this before we get into the actual content part. So ideal client avatar or customer persona is basically an imaginary person who has all the characteristics of your ideal client. Just as the name says, it's very self-explanatory. The person is your ideal client in the sense that this is the person that you want to sell to. This is the person that you want to attract with your content. This is the person that you want to serve and serve and serve, and you never get tired of, because they have all the things that is exactly what you're trying to attract or target. So back in the day, at least when I was growing up, generally when we used to talk about targeting, the main thing that people mentioned was the demography side of things. So age, gender, nationality, where is the person residing, where is he actually from, what's their marital status, household income, and all of that, which is important information, but that's mostly numbers or data. But there is also a very important side of things called psychography. And this is where marketing, you as a marketer has to really drill down on things. Because these days, just knowing someone's age or gender or nationality is not really enough anymore. If you want to create content or any kind of marketing really, that speaks to your ICA, you have to understand the other, the hidden side of things. So, for example, what are their goals? What are their aspirations? What are their values? Religious and political affiliation. In India, this plays a huge role. What are their hobbies? Where do they hang out online? Where do they hang out offline? What are their pain points or problems? And what are their desires? Why do you think I have mentioned places of hangout here, both online and offline? Why do you think that information is important? Anybody? Anybody wants to chime in? Sorry. Why do you think we should know where your ideal client hangs out online or offline?
To best reach them, to reach them in
Okay.
the best way.
And where do you think people hang out online or offline?
Online, we
Let's
can
say,
say
like,
Facebook and other social media platforms.
It
okay,
depends on different segments of people, like
exactly, yes. Yeah. Whoever it was, you can continue.
yeah, I mean, ma'am, I think like it depends on the different segments of people. Like maybe people below 40 who are good with technology hang around online, but I think still most of our population, especially rural segment, is like basically we have to market it to them offline.
Okay. All right. Let's say we are looking, so I'm going to ask quick questions, sort of like rapid fire. You can leave your answer in the chat window or shout out your answer. Let's say you're trying to target let's say you're trying to target a creative person who's into visual media and who falls in the group of millennials. Where would you generally go looking for them?
Ma'am, maybe Instagram or other social media platforms.
No. Where do you think specifically you would go looking for them? Online, among social media platforms, you already gave the answer actually, but then you also added or. So where would you specifically go looking for them?
Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, Instagram is basically the place you would go looking for creative millennials who are into visual media, because that's what Instagram is all about. But yes, this is not to say that you won't find millennials on Facebook, but Instagram is like the main place where you can go looking for them. Let's say I'm a mother who's into sustainable diapers. Okay. Where do you think you can find me? If you are someone who is selling sustainable diapers, where do you think you can find me, both online and offline? I have a 1-year-old baby, and I don't use the plastic diapers. I prefer the sustainable ones or the biodegradable ones. Where do you think you would post content to attract me? Anybody?
Ma'am, social medias as well as maybe YouTube, social media in the sense pages like as you mentioned, Instagram itself,
Okay.
because young mothers now usually they are active in Instagrams. Then maybe YouTube feeds where items are related, where pages come up related to mother, child care, and such things.
Yeah, good answer. There are also a couple of other places which generally people forget. One is Facebook groups. Facebook pages may not have the organic reach that we used to have once upon a time, but Facebook groups are still very prolific with active members who are always looking for information and to interact with others. So if I'm like as a mother, I am a part of plenty of mummy groups on Facebook, both in this was mainly in Dubai when I was there. I don't use Facebook much anymore, but when I was still in Dubai, I used to use the Facebook mummy groups a lot, location wise, or just there were groups that was open to the whole of Dubai or the whole of UAE, and there were smaller groups that were very location specific or neighborhood specific. So that's one place, and the other place is WhatsApp groups. WhatsApp groups is another place where you'll be able to find moms hanging out. And offline, where do you think I can, where do you think you can target me? Where do you think I hang out? I am a working mother. Let's say my child is now 2 years old. Where do you think you can market or put up flyers or
Nurseries,
share information? Yeah, preschools.
preschools, and hospitals. The hospital specifically for maternity and childcare.
Yeah. And even places where there are these mom and child hobby classes. There are places which conduct activities. Again, it depends where you live and what kind of things happen in your city. But if you live in a metro where there are these mom and child activities happening, then you'll be able to find us there. So now you understand why the psychography is so important when it comes to marketing. Now, when you were answering my questions, you were basically thinking about a mom and what are the things that she must be going through in terms of childcare, and that's how you were able to give me the answers, right? So psychography plays an extremely important role, and this is something I've included my own coach here because I have honestly gotten tired of telling this to my clients and coaching clients and agency clients. Because one of the things that they constantly tell me is, Neelu, but if I keep talking about my product or my brand, won't people get bored? How many times am I supposed to tell people? And I have to remind them that marketing is relentless, consistent, and repetitive communication. You have to go hoarse repeating the same thing. Like the number of times I have to mention that I am a coach or that I have an agency, I have to do that in order for the business to come in, and that is part of marketing. And you do this after having a thorough understanding of their psyche. So marketing is all psychology, you guys. It doesn't matter whether you market through Vanida or you market through the Time magazine or only online, their online subscription. It doesn't matter. These are all just different tools. But marketing at the very base level is psychology and understanding people's psyche and creating content or creating anything really that speaks or touches a chord in them. Okay. You can think of any, don't worry about this slide, I'll come to this, but you can think of any brand really. Okay, any brand that you have grown up using or you have grown up seeing around you. And or any TV commercial that you still remember. The reason why you remember that brand or the commercial is because you have something about their content has touched you in some way. So for me personally, Dove is a brand that I absolutely love. I use Dove shampoo, Dove conditioner, Dove body lotion, Dove soap. I use other brands also in between when I get bored of Dove, but I always circle back to Dove. And the funny thing is, I haven't seen a recent TV commercial of theirs on TV. Like I said, I only watch OTT, like movies now. I don't really watch the regular TV and stuff. So I haven't seen a TV commercial, to be honest. But the commercials that I have seen many years back of Dove still sits in my heart, still touches a chord, still resonates with me as one of their consumers. When you think of close-up toothpaste, what comes to your mind? When you think about Pepsodent or Oral-B, what comes to your mind? So all these are different types of content that they are plugging and making you feel a particular way so that you go and purchase their product. It's actually very simple, but not a lot of people get it right. Because as I asked you guys in the very beginning, when I asked you what is business, whenever I ask this question, in fact, it's not just you guys, whenever I ask this question, everybody says profitability, making money, financial freedom. But that's not what business is. Business is solving a problem, and marketing is effectively communicating that. And the brands that you remember, the reason why you remember is because they are doing it really, really well. Okay. So this infographic doesn't belong to me. I've given the source, but I don't think you can see it on the screen. Anyway, this is what a buyer journey is. Given that you are business students, I'm not going to get into the whole detail, but we have to understand the buyer journey. Why? Because we create content depending on where a particular person is. Okay. You can think of a buyer journey as dating and getting married. I know it's a very faltu example to give in India because most of us get into arranged marriages where our parents decide. But let's just get out of that and think about getting married to someone. Let's say someone comes to you on the roadside. You're waiting for the bus or auto or your Uber, and someone comes to you and they're like, "Hey, can we get married?" What is your reaction going to be? You're going to be like, "What? I don't even know you." So basically, the buyer journey is the same thing. You don't know this brand at all. You guys have never heard of me until this webinar, right? So we were absolute strangers. Then you see a piece of content from my side, or you see a reel or a carousel, again, anything that falls under the category of content. And your interest sort of starts to perk. That is when the awareness comes in. The awareness side of things starts when you hear about a brand for the first time. How many of you have heard of 82E? How many of you have heard of 82E? If yes, do you know what 82E is? Manju says yes. So Manju, what is 82E?
Deepika Padukone's new skincare, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Yeah. So it's the new or the very latest skincare brand by Deepika Padukone. So if you don't follow Deepika Padukone on socials, if you have zero clue about her and what she does, then you are a complete stranger to 82E. But then now that I've mentioned, you come across, there is a little bit of awareness in your mind of 82E. And if you're really a curious cat, you're going to go after this session, or probably during the session, you're going to go look for Deepika Padukone's Instagram, and you're going to look for 82E, and you're going to start. Since you've already watched one of her pieces of content on 82E, the algorithm is going to show you more and more 82E ads and all of that. And then you start considering, okay, you're like, okay, this sounds like a really good sunscreen. Maybe I should get one for myself. And then comes the purchase, the customer retention, loyalty, and all of that. Okay. So the reason why I am bringing this here is because this is another model of buyer journey or the funnel. That is awareness, interest, desire, action, and there's one more now. With the onset of digital media, there's one more called advocacy. So AIDA has become AIDA. There's awareness in your brand, there's interest, there's desire, there's action, and there's advocacy. Advocacy is basically you putting up a story or a WhatsApp status saying that, hey, I purchased this from XYZ and I really like it. Or you going to a restaurant and having a meal and sharing a photo and tagging the restaurant. That's advocacy. And that has become extremely important in the marketing funnel now. So again, the buyer journey, we can split it into 3 temperatures of leads as well. It's the same thing, but explained in a different way. That is, the person who comes to you on the roadside and says, hey, let's get married, is a cold lead. Sorry, you are a cold lead for that person. Why? Because you have zero idea about that person. But then as he starts to ask you out, and you guys go out on dates and movies and all of that, and you start to get to know that person better, and he gets to know you better and all of that, you sort of enter into the next stage of relationship. So it's the exact same thing when it comes to marketing as well. So when you create content, you need a good mix of content that speaks to a cold lead, a warm lead, and a hot lead. So a cold lead is someone who has never heard of your brand. A warm lead is someone who gets to know you from someone somewhere and then gives you a follow. I'm just giving you an example here. Gives you a follow on Instagram, on your Instagram page. So they start watching your content. They may or may not interact, but they are there. And hot lead, the perfect example of a hot lead is someone who comes into your DM. So if you're a business owner, they comes into your DM and they're like, hey, I would like to buy so and so. How can I purchase? Or they come to your website and they add things to the cart and they're about to check out. So the content that you create has to speak to all these different groups of people. If you are constantly putting out content saying that buy from me, buy this from now, buy this from me now, buy this from me tomorrow, 20% discount, 30% discount, but the person is a complete cold lead or a warm lead who doesn't really have any idea about you or hasn't reached that level of awareness or consideration where they want to buy from you, then that content is not going to speak to them and you're not going to be able to convert them into sales. Okay. All right. So before we get into the next part, you have to consider how your business is going to solve the problems or meet the desires of your ICA, so that you have a thorough idea on what your marketing should look like. Okay. And what makes a solid content strategy or what makes a good content strategy is basically that sweet spot of what you want to talk about as a business owner or a brand and what your audience wants to hear about. And a lot of people get it wrong here. Any of you here who create content for, like, even if it's personal accounts, do you create content on a regular basis? Have any of you on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, doesn't matter. You can raise your hand in the chat window. Or any of you doing it specifically on behalf of any brand or any business? Even if it's your cousin's business or your friend's business, it's fine. Have you created any kind of content for digital marketing? Okay, I'm not seeing any answers, so I'm assuming no. Sorry for the interruption. Google Home was switched on. Okay, So, as digital marketing students, one of the things that you can do is you can go to your favorite brand's Instagram account or YouTube account or any social platforms, even their blogs or website, and see what kind of content are they creating. Are they constantly talking about their products and services, or are they also offering some kind of value for their audience? And you will be able to see a huge difference in the way people are engaging with their content. So those businesses that do a good mix of promotional, educational, relatable content generally see better engagement and better conversions. Why? Because they are there with a service mentality. They're there to serve their audience. They're not there to talk about themselves. They're not making it just about themselves. Yes, they are promoting their business, but they're doing it in a very creative way where they are offering value as well. So this is what, in a nutshell, a solid content strategy should look like. That sweet spot where you're talking about what your audience wants to hear while simultaneously promoting your products. And how do you find this? Like, how do you find the sweet spot? That I'm going to explain in a minute. But you can also do this by testing things out. Like by one is, of course, you can research what other people are doing in the same niche. And on the other end, you can also start putting out content and testing what is getting more engagement and what isn't. Okay. A lot of times, businesses, what they do, of course, the ones with lower budget or that falls into small and medium, is that they start posting content on social media. Like they pick only one or two platforms and they focus on just that social media, and they're like, oh, we are happy here and getting enough sales through Instagram and getting enough sales through Facebook. But depending only on social media is not a good idea. Number one, we don't know, like these platforms all belong to somebody else, and we don't know how things are going to change. Like when Elon Musk came in and he purchased Twitter, the whole landscape of Twitter changed. Um, when Facebook bought Instagram, that was like one of the most uh, disappointing days of my life because I absolutely love Instagram and I just couldn't bear the fact that Mark Zuckerberg bought it because I knew it was change, right? Facebook, which used to be very prolific back in the day, a lot of us don't use Facebook anymore. We have all moved to Instagram. So things keep changing and you don't really have a whole lot of control. So it's not a great idea to depend just on social media. It's best to start with educational or evergreen content on your website by using a blog or at least a long form content like YouTube or podcast. And then um, the same content, you're going to pass it on to your blog or through email marketing. And then the same content is dripped down onto your different social media channels in bite-sized format. So you start with long form and then you go down to instant or bite-sized or snackable content because on different platforms, content works in different ways. All right. What is educational or evergreen content? Evergreen content is anything that people would search even after 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. What is SEO? People still ask me. I started working on SEO when I had an e-commerce store back in Dubai 7, 8 years ago. I think I started working with SEO. But even today, people ask me what is SEO. In fact, today we had a YouTube video go out explaining what is SEO. Because these are the kind of content that people are always looking for. So in your niche, whichever brand it is, what kind of content is people always searching for? And you write articles or blog posts or emails based on that, and you push it out. Okay. Now let's talk about content pillars. So content strategy is the big umbrella. Okay. And content pillars are basically your content strategy broken down into different topics, or some people even call it content buckets. So content buckets or content pillars, why do you need them? Because it makes it easier for you to plan content. You focus only on what is necessary. You're not like shooting in the dark. You have a proper strategy, you have a proper plan in place. You're creating content that targets specifically your IC and a wider audience. And you're also able to increase engagement. Why? Because your content plan is very specific. It's not like all over the place. The content pillars, again, after the webinar or whenever you get time, go to the brands pages, any brands that you like or any accounts, not influencers, by the way, I'm specifically talking about businesses. Go to their accounts and see what are the different kinds of content that they are posting. And generally, you'll find 3 types. Most of the content, or pretty much every content that you see online, can be divided into 3 different content pillars: educational or entertainment. So that is the how to do this, 3 ways to this, 3 ways for that, 5 ways to increase your profit, 5 ways to increase your leads. Tutorials, evergreen, like I said, anything that people would search even after several years. Then relatable, so that it speaks to your audience. So relatable content can be anything. So I'm a marketing coach, and my ICA is a business owning woman. That is the kind of crowd I generally attract, and I prefer serving as well. So I put out content that is relatable to them. So as a mother, there are things that I can understand of other mothers. As a working woman, I can understand what are some of the struggles that other working women are going through, and I put out content that they find relatable. And there is, of course, promotional content. By promotion, I don't mean discounts. What I mean is you're promoting your business in whatever way. So your anything really, a testimonial from your previous client, an ad, anything that promotes your business in any way falls under promotion. So the whole content umbrella can be divided into these 3 pillars. Now, how are you going to figure out these pillars? Like, how are you going to decide on which type of content to create? This is where your ICA comes back into play again. You really have to understand the psyche of your ideal clients. You have to understand their struggles, understand their problems, like what is keeping them up. Okay, as a marketing coach, I talk about how I can help them scale their business by learning more about marketing. Right. So what are the things that, what are the struggles that your ideal client is going through? And based on that, you create content. Okay. You can also get ideas on what kind of content to create by having conversations. This is another area where a lot of businesses fail. What they do is they post content, they don't reply to comments, they don't even like the comments, they don't reply to DMs, and people stop engaging or having a conversation with them. When you actually go down to people's level and you have proper conversations, whether it's in an offline setting like a networking event, or whether you're like waiting in a queue at the doctor's office, or it's DMs or comments on under your Instagram post. Have conversations. Understand what are some of the things that your IC is going through, so that you're able to create content accordingly. So in a nutshell, content strategy is the bigger piece of the puzzle, and then you break it down into content pillars, and then content pillars can be broken down even further into core topics and subtopics. So I'll give you a quick example here. As a marketing coach, one of my pillars is education. So I share a lot of how-tos, hacks, tips, and all of that. And I am a big believer in productivity. So getting things done quicker with more focus. Rather than spending hours doing something, I share my productivity hacks or focus hacks with my audience. But do I talk about productivity in just one go? No. I divide that even further into smaller subtopics. So for example, time block. So I don't know whether you guys are familiar with Pomodoro technique. So time blocking is something that I do to get more things done in a shorter period of time. Delegation. At Neelu and Co, I have a team who takes care of different parts of the very moving agency. So I delegate. As a mother, I plan my meals ahead. I grocery shop based on my meal plans, batch creation, setting boundaries. I'm getting better and better at setting boundaries as a business owner. I don't reply to client calls and messages that comes after set time or after working hours and all that. Okay, so you can think of. Okay, I actually have an exercise for you guys. So let's say you are hired by an interior design firm, okay, to do their marketing. Which of these pillars would you choose? What would your core topic be, and what would your subtopics be? I'll keep this in front of you. Okay, these are the three main pillars. And you're doing marketing for an interior design firm. What kind of content do you think you can share? Anyone willing to volunteer? Nobody? Come on, you guys, you are like MBA students. Anybody?
Anyone, guys? Answers, please.
All right, I'm going to move to the next slide. So this is the last thing that I'm going to talk about, don't worry. So content calendar is basically a plan or a schedule that you're going to set out for your client or for your business where you're going to put these little content pillars and subtopics and topics. And why is it necessary to have a calendar or a plan? Because you don't want to wake up every morning and ask yourself, okay, what am I going to post now? What am I going to tell the clients? I mean, what am I going to post on behalf of my client and all of that? So it's always best to have a calendar. And now that you know how content pillars work, coming up with a content calendar wouldn't be so difficult. You actually, if you sit down and do this exercise, you'll be able to come up with content ideas very easily. And I've also listed some generic content ideas that you can use no matter what your business. I'll be passing on this presentation to Anne-Theresa or Dr. Shafi if you would like to have a copy of it. That's all, you guys, from my side. This is a favorite quote of Tony Robbins. I mean, this is a favorite quote of mine by Tony Robbins, where he says that your business is your mindset. And as someone who has been in the business field, I also come from a family of business owners. At the end of the day, what matters the most is your mindset, your willingness to learn, your willingness to adapt, your willingness to be open to different things that pops up, your willingness to put out fires every day as a business owner. All that depends on your mindset, and that is what is going to make you a great business owner, and the rest is just strategy. All right, thank you so much for joining. If you would like to connect with me, you can find me under the name Nielouphar pretty much everywhere. I have a unique spelling, so it's really easy to find me, whether it's on LinkedIn or Instagram. That's about it, yeah. Do we wait for questions, or what would you like me to do, Anne-Theresa?
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to open for a few questions if anyone has. The topic is actually really good, ma'am, my personal opinion. a new topic.
Thank you so much.
Anyone, any questions?
I think everyone is just tired because it's almost 8 p.m. Time for dinner and going to bed and watching TV.
Ma'am, I guess there might not be any questions. But
Yeah.
still, ma'am, the session was really informative, a new topic for me too. This is one of, like, I am not much into content creation or anything, but this is a new subject or a new information, we can say. I would like to now invite Arafa for the vote of thanks.
Good evening, ma'am. So, it is my great pleasure to deliver this what half of the whole song. I would like to express my thanks for A, who graced with her presence for sharing valuable thoughts with us. Knowledge and expertise has provided us with new ways to look into. Thank you to all the faculty members who joined the sessions and all my colleagues. Thank you and have a cheerful day ahead.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining us. Thank you all. That will be the day.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.